What is up, Duelists? MD here, and today I have a deck profile for you all of my domain Monarch deck. Now, Monarchs are a very big and crazy thing right now because all the support here came from a structure deck that came out not too long ago, I think it was a few months ago, and just ever since then it has taken off like crazy. And there are so many variants of this deck. There's the domain Monarchs, there's Fusion Monarchs, Synchro Monarchs, XC's Monarchs, Extra Deck Monarchs in general, just so many versions I don't even know where to keep up. But today's going to be the domain one, and this one again is very competitive, can definitely win you events, and in my opinion probably like the easiest one to pick up if you're newer to the game. So that's the way we're going to get right into it. First of all, I run 3 copies of Adia, the Heavenly Squire, and with that, 3 copies of YuGiOh, the Underworld Squire. Now, these two kind of go hand in hand, because whenever you normal special summon the Adia, you can special summon this guy from your deck in defense position, and his effect is, once per turn during your main phase, you can get an additional normal summon on top of the normal summon you had already. Which is very good because Monarchs are a tribute summon deck. So for those of you old school players who played when the game was first out and now are trying to get into it after many years, this would be the deck for you because it utilizes a lot of the old mechanics that a lot of newer players are not really familiar with or just don't even use in this day of the game. So yeah. Also, this one has the effect where whenever it's sent to the graveyard, you can get some banished Monarch spell or traps and add them to your hand, which is good because you banish a lot of stuff. And as far as YuGiOh, when this one is in the graveyard, you can banish him and special summon the Adia and just do the whole thing all over again. So these guys are your main ways of getting stuff summoned out. And with that, I run 1 copy of Breleneth, the Firestorm Vassal. Forgive me if I mispronounced that. Now, with these Monarch decks, you want at least 1 Vassal. And there's a lot of Vassals to choose from, but I personally choose him. What his effect is, you can discard a card and special summon him. And whenever he is tributed, you can search your opponent's hand, banish a card there until the end of their turn. So, pretty good card overall. And it gets special summon too, so it's not wasting your normal summon whatsoever. And again, there's a lot of Vassal cards to choose from. This one's just my personal opinion to choose from. But there's many other good ones you can pick. Next up, I run 3 copies of Aether, the Heavenly Monarch. Now, this card is one of your main cards of the deck. Because, first of all, you could tribute summon this by tributing only 1 tribute summon monster. Or the regular tribute summoning. And again, there's many different ways you could tribute summon easily or even just special summon this deck, so forgive me. So basically the main effect of this card is whenever it is tribute summon, you could discard 2 Monarch spell or trap cards from your deck to the graveyard. They can't be the same, they don't have to be different. And you can special summon a Monarch monster from your deck, but it goes back to the hand at the end of your turn. That's the main effect. But it also has the effect to where you could tribute summon this card on your opponent's turn by banishing a Monarch spell or trap card from your graveyard. So, yes, you could tribute summon this during your opponent's turn. However, that is not the only way you could tribute summon during your opponent's turn. And what I mean by that, I will get into later on in the profile. And next up, the other half to Aether is going to be 3 copies of Erebus, the Underworld Monarch. Now, similar effect to Aether, when it's tribute summon, you discard a Monarch spell and trap. 2 Monarch spell or traps, forgive me. Once again, can't be different names. And what it does, you can bounce a card your opponent has into their hand, and it does not target whatsoever, so basically nothing can save it from that. So yeah, definitely a powerful card here. And this one also has a secondary effect, to where it's in the graveyard, you can discard a Monarch spell or trap, and you could add a 24 or more attack monster from your graveyard into your hand. Yeah, forgive me guys. Forgive me for that. It's just, there's a lot of effects that comes with this guy, and even I lose track sometimes. But yeah, overall, just very powerful. Next up here, run 1 copy of Caius, the Mega Monarch. All of these Monarch decks should have at least 1 Mega Monarch in them. Some people choose Destalo's Mega Monarch, and some people choose Caius. I personally choose Caius, because when it's tribute summoned, you can banish a card that your opponent has. And it's got the cool thing, if you tribute a dark monster while doing this, you can tribute 2 cards. Oh, and also when you tribute that card, you inflict 1,000 damage on your opponent for burn. So burns your opponent, banishes cards, and overall just a good 28 beat stick. And now for some old cards a lot of old school players might be familiar with. One copy of Vanity's Fiend, and one copy of Majesty's Fiend. Now these cards are amazing in the deck. Can't be special summoned, which is not really much of a problem whatsoever. Both from level 6, so they only require 1 tribute. And also this one has the effect where now the player can special summon monsters, which completely destroys basically every other competitive deck in Yu-Gi-Oh right now. And Majesty's Fiend has a thing where monster effects can't be activated, which again, every Yu-Gi-Oh deck out there right now. So these are definitely good to run hand in hand, but I don't run more than one of each, mainly because they can also conflict with your strategies as well. So you have to be a little bit careful when tribute summoning for these, but do it at the right time and they can win you games. Like literally, with Majesties and Vanities alone, I have won matches. And now, my final monster card. Now I have a question for you. All must bow before the Monarchs, but even the Monarchs must bow to who? That's right. One copy of Obelisk the Tormentor, Divine Beast God. Even the Monarchs must bow on their knees before him. No, in all seriousness, Obelisk is actually pretty good at the Monarch deck. Because, again, you wouldn't... I'm sorry, I don't know what I'm saying again. You still need 3 tributes for him, which can be a lot. However, now with all these Monarch cards in here, there are so many ways to where you could get those tributes out without much of an issue whatsoever. And note, very, very important effect, his normal summon cannot be negated. As we all know, Solemn Strike, Solemn Warning, a lot of the Grand Horde of Heaven cards are there. Anything that negates summons are huge right now. And whenever you get him out, it's just, nope, not negating this tribute summon whatsoever. Oh, it also has the effect where you can tribute 2 monsters on your field and it just blows up your opponent's monsters on the field. But you can't attack for that turn. But that's okay though, because I rarely find myself using that effect. Because whenever I get him out, I'm almost guaranteed the victory, because there is not much an opponent can do against this card. And to make it even more devastating, there's like a little combo I have for this, which I will show you later on. And if you want to, you can actually run 2 of this card. I'm just choosing 1 right now just to mess around with it, see how it goes. But 2 is not a bad idea whatsoever. So that's about it for the monster lineup. Now we're going to go right into the spells. Run 3 copy of Patheism at the Monarchs. Now let me tell you something right now, guys. How this did not get hit by the ban list last time, I could not tell you. Like, I was baffled that this did not get hit. Because it's just too amazing. First of all, you can send a Monarch spell a trap you have in your hand to discard and draw 2 cards, which that alone is amazing, because a lot of Monarch spell and traps benefit from being in the graveyard instead of your hand. And it also has the effect where you can banish this card, pick 3 Monarch spell or traps, and your opponent picks 1 of them to put in your hand, and you shuffle the rest back in your deck. That one you can only activate once per turn, but the draw one, there's no limit to how many times you can activate that. So, oh man, this card is just amazing. Again, I know I'm repeating myself, but that is just how baffled I am that this did not get hit by the ban list. And let's hope it stays that way. Next up, the other most important card of the deck, I think, is going to be 3 copies of Monarch Stormforth. Now this is how you get a lot of your play started. Activate this card, and once during a turn, you could use one of your opponent's monsters as a tribute to get out of tribute summon monster. Now, which is very, very big, because this is not targeting or placing an effect on the monster. All it is doing is creating a condition. So if your opponent wants to argue about, oh no, this isn't affected, or it can't be targeted, or no destroyed, no. It is not doing anything to the monster whatsoever. It is just creating a condition on the field. So do not let the opponent trick you with that whatsoever. So this can help you, if you only have 1 monster to get out a Monarch or Obelisk, you can use these to tribute one of your opponent's monsters, and boom, Erebus, Ether, Obelisk possibly. Or honestly, if you want to be really cheaty and nasty to your opponent, just activate this and tribute it for one of your Majesties or Vanities, at all the cost to them. So, in my opinion, probably the other most important card in the deck. Next up, we have 3 copies of Domain of the True Monarchs. Now this is what makes it the Domain Monarch deck, because basically for this, you cannot have an extra deck whatsoever. Basically what it is if you have no cards in your extra deck and you're the only one that has a tribute summon monster, your opponent cannot summon monsters from the extra deck whatsoever, which I know you're going to get used to me saying this a lot in this video, which is every other Yu-Gi-Oh deck in the format right now. So this stops basically everything. Also, it has this amazing effect that whenever a tribute summon monster, no, tribute summon monster, not monarch monster, any monster that was tributed gains 800 attack during damage calculation on your battle phase. So, oh man, yup. Anything you tribute for, whether it be Aether, Erebus, even Obelisk the Tormentor gains 800 attack whenever during the battle phase. And it doesn't have to be a monster either. It could just be monster, direct attack. All of them, they gain it. So, getting up to that combo, I'm going to show you guys with Obelisk, and it's really, really amazing. Alright, next up, I run 3 copies of Tenacity in the Monarchs. Now this is your searcher of the deck to get out all the Monarch spell and traps you need. Basically what it is, you reveal a monster with 2400 attack and 1000 defense, or 2800 attack and 1000 defense. They make it the attack and defense numbers like that to make it so you can only use the Monarchs and the Fiend cards, the Vanities and Majesties. So if in case you were wondering, that's why a lot of these cards have that specific requirement. But yeah, this is your main way of searching off everything you need. Very, very good card. Now, we're getting into that combo right here. 2 copies of March of the Monarchs. Now, in Domain Monarch decks, a lot of people only run 1 of these or not at all, which I can't understand why people only want at least 1 of these. Not running a 1-2, I could somewhat understand, but I just don't see why people choose not to run this at all. Because tribute summon monsters you have cannot be targeted or destroyed by card effects. Alright guys, here's that amazing combo that I'm going to get into involving Obelisk the Tormentor. Say you tribute for an Obelisk Tormentor, right? Normal summon can't be negated, nothing like that, so he's pretty safe on the field at the moment. Then you activate March of the Monarchs, protecting him from being targeted or destroyed by card effects. Now, he already cannot be targeted by spells, traps, or monster effects, which that alone is pretty amazing, but he can still be destroyed by, like, say, something that doesn't target, like Regeki, Darkhole, anything that does not target. Now, March of the Monarchs makes it so he can't be targeted or destroyed by basically anything but battle. And let me tell you something, guys, right now. Almost no deck in the top format right now is equipped to deal with this. Because I've asked a lot of people that have gone to like practice matches with them with this, and these are like very, very experienced people. They've been playing the game for many, many years, have done well in fairly sized events, and whenever I get this combo out, they're like, nope, you win. Like most decks, I kid you not, are not equipped to deal with this, and it's just a mind-blowing combo. That once you get it out, you basically win. Alright. And from the last Monarch spell card, I run 1 copy of Return to the Monarchs. Oh, I'm sorry, that's not the last one. Second to last one, I'm sorry. You can't special summon monsters from the extra deck. That's not a big deal because we don't have an extra deck. Basically, whenever you tribute summon for a monster, you can search your deck for either a 2400 attack monster and 1000 defense, or a 2800 attack monster and 1000 defense. This is basically your another searcher you have for your monsters. A good card to run out of 1. Some people don't run this at all. Now this, I can kind of understand why you don't want to run it at all, because it is kind of situational and stuff like that. And it can be a little cloggy at times. Now, for the actual last Monarch spell card, Frost Blast the Monarchs, activate this card, and you can destroy a set spell or trap your opponent has on the field. Opponent, sorry about that. But, even though it sounds pretty bad that it's only set cards and not face-up spell or trap cards, it's got this cool thing where if it's in the graveyard, you could banish it and do the exact same thing. Only thing is you have to have a 2400 or more attack monster and 1000 defense on the field to activate this, which isn't really a problem because that's basically your entire deck, which you're going to get out very, very quickly. Alright, and for my other 1-of spell cards, I run 1 Reinforcement of the Army to get out my idea, 1 1-for-1 to special summon my idea. You want idea out as quickly as possible, so... And also 1 copy of Twin Twisters, just for obvious reasons, just to get rid of some back row, because back row is never fun in any deck whatsoever. And there's plenty of things you have to pitch for Twin Twisters that you could still use in the graveyard. So there you go. And now we're going to get into our trap line. I run 2 copies of the Prime Monarch. Now this is a trap card, but it's for the most part treated as a monster. Because when it's in the graveyard, you can banish a Monarch spell or trap and special summon it in defense mode. But the trap effect is not bad, but you just really will not find yourself using it. It's basically you just get 2 Monarch spell or traps from your graveyard, shuffle them into your deck, and draw a card. Again, not bad at all, but you will rarely use that effect because you'll be so busy just using it to help out with your tribute summons. And there's plenty of ways to pitch this with the Twin Twisters, Patheism especially, the effects of Aether and Eidos. So there are a lot of ways to get this bad boy in the graveyard and to pull off your plays. Next up, I run 1 Escalation of the Monarchs. Now this is the second way you're going to be tributing something on your opponent's turn, because let me read the card for you word for word. Once per turn during your opponent's main phase or your opponent's main phase, you can immediately after this effect resolves, tribute summon 1 monster. So yes, word by word that says even during your opponent's phase you can do this. So another way you can tribute someone during your opponent's turn. And also with that, you can also activate Monarch Stormforce since it is a quick play spell. Activate that on your opponent's turn, then activate this, tribute one of their monsters to get out your monster on their turn. So very incredible card. Some people run it as 2, not bad to run it as 2, but it's just my personal choice to run as 1. And last but not least, 1 copy of Solemn Warning. Just negates summons of pretty nasty monsters I don't want to see on the field. So, obvious reason there. And with that, we are done with this deck profile. Again, there is no extra deck here whatsoever. This is not one of the extra deck Monarchs. Though I'm not saying anything against the extra deck Monarchs because they are very powerful. But I feel this one is a really good balance of competitiveness and still being able to teach newcomers how to get into the game. So, if you're new, I highly recommend this deck because almost everything you need is going to be in the structure decks. And again, it's very competitive. You will most likely, if not even win, at the very least make top at your locals with a deck like this because they're just crazy right now, dominating the format and whatnot. So if you like this video, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you are new to the channel. I know you guys have been requesting me to do live matches. I am not ignoring you all whatsoever. I have been wanting to do this as well. It's just the only thing is scheduling with that and trying to find people to do it. It has not been easy. So, but I am trying my best, and I will get you guys a live match as soon as I possibly can. Alright? So I just wanted to make sure you all knew that I am trying on that. So anyway, hope you all enjoyed the deck profile. This has been Magician's Descendant, and all of you duelists, take care.